I'm going to show you another secret formula that is in the formula of salt. Have you ever had a super mineralized liquid salt? It's one of the most important things you can add to your kitchen, and you really don't even have to change your diet. Remember, you're just going to change your salt. We're going to show you two different recipes today on how to make two different types of liquid salt. And the reason why we want to use liquid salt, because it's the most powerful concentrated salt you can get, and it's also called Soleil salt. But what I do is I like to soup up, make it so it's super mineralized salt. Okay, liquid salt, remember, is what I use in everything, and I just put it in a sprayer. I'm going to show you these very simple recipes. But salt, just so you know, remember, has to do with conductivity, and conductivity has to do with your life force. So most people in the United States are mineral deficient. Okay, they're not really, they don't have the chemistry inside to make vitality. Okay, so conductivity is very, very important. And salt, again, you don't have to change your diet, and this is one of the things that you can change. Now, there are different types of salt. Personally, the only salt I would use is Himalayan salt. And you would say, why? This is pink Himalayan salt. Pink Himalayan salt is very smart because it's from a closed mine. Okay, all the surface salt, in my opinion, is toxic. Okay, you've got all different types of pollutants. You've got different types of toxicities, feces from hotels, Fukushima, radiation, chemtrails, acid rain from pollution. Remember, it's all in the water. Now, the way we're going to make this salt today, like I said, you don't need that many ingredients. So first thing I'm going to show you, though, is the importance of conductivity. This is a conductivity, what we call tester, okay, and I got this made. And these are just left and right, just like you'd get out of an electrical socket, positive and negative. And when I turn this on, these are live right now. But the light bulb's not going on unless I touch those two prongs together. But you can see, okay, if I put this is just distilled water, okay, and I got this out of our distilled water. If I put this in the distilled water, since there's not any minerals in here, it will not conduct. So this is just a very short mini lecture. I'm going to show you two quick recipes. The reason being is because you have to get in your mind, remember, conductivity is everything. Remember, distilled water. Distilled water has no conductivity. And I'm going to show you the difference here real quick here. Okay. We're just going to take some, this is already some liquid salt that we have, and you can see that the salt will not melt once it gets past 26%. Still got a big piece of salt in there. And I'm going to show you like I said, a super mineralized recipe. The salt, just with water by itself, okay, is also just the way it is excellent salt. But for me, I know everybody's mineral deficient, so we might as well add a few things to make it so our salt becomes super conductive. So what I'm going to do is, this is just the salt, okay, and we're going to just show you how putting some salt in here, okay, you'll see the light bulb once I start to go ahead and get some conductivity. And remember, salt is not the best unless it's got a lot of magnesium. Okay, you can see I got to put in quite a bit of drops. There we go. Okay, and there's not that much conductivity there. Okay, but remember, what is your body made out of? Salt water. Okay, when you get in trouble and you call the ambulance, do they give you distilled water? Do they give you purified water in your IV? No, they give you salt water. Okay, so this only lights this up, and you can see it's smoking pretty good because it's got conductivity. What we're going to add to this to make it super conductive is magnesium minerals. This is a brand new one here. And magnesium minerals are highly conductive because magnesium is one of the main conductors in your body. And you're going to see in a second here how just a few drops of magnesium now, whoops, changes the light bulb. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you can see magnesium is way stronger. Okay, and as I keep on putting more and more and more, okay, Okay, and this is why we're going to add magnesium to the salt, because otherwise salt's weak. So if the lights the light bulb up, what do you think it does to your food? It makes it taste superb. Okay, and you can see the light bulb, okay, just like this. And if I put this in the straight Soleil salt, of course it's going to light it up. Okay, it's because that's the straight concentrated salt. But you saw when I diluted it, it didn't have that much power. Okay, but once I put the magnesium in, now it's got superpower. Okay, so that's the reason why we're making this a super mineralized salt. So let's put these away. Okay, now the only ingredients you need to make this salt, okay, these are from my private collection here. We don't sell these anymore, but these are just larger pieces of salt than the fine ground salt. I like to make this with, there's coarse ground that we sell, okay? The fine ground salt is for adding onto your food, but personally, the only salt I would use, and what you do is just put it in a misto sprayer, and you spray it on. And this is super, it's got a super mineralized flavor.
Salt.
No, it's really good. Here, give it a shot too. Okay, so what you do is real easy. All you do, you fill your jar halfway up. You can make any salt, like I said. You can use sea salt, okay? You can use any, but the best salt to use is the Himalayan salt. And then all you have to do is add, you can do this several ways. You can use alkaline water if you want a higher pH salt, okay? Or you can go ahead and use, as I'm using here, distilled water. I'm going to show you why in a sec. Now, salt and water. In one day, the salt is going to turn to water, the water is going to turn to salt, and that's it. It's done. So this recipe basically is very quick. You don't have to do anything. So this is a recipe in itself. Just to make the Soleil salt, you're done. But we're going to make it into super salt. So what I like to do is put in about 25 drops in about this much right here. And this gives it superconductivity. We also want to add living silica, okay? Because everybody's deficient in silica, okay? Everybody's deficient in zinc. Everybody's deficient in boron. Everybody's deficient in magnesium. So what are we doing? We're adding some of the minerals that we know are deficient. I like to put a tablespoon in here, okay? And this is the concentrated silica too, okay? Because a lot of silicas that you get, they're not concentrated, so you have to put in twice as much or 3 times as much. So MSM, this is sulfur. And all you're going to put in is half a teaspoon. It's not going to really change the flavor of this, but this is going to add the salt. Because remember, you're going to spray this on all your food. You want to use salt. A lot of people say you're not supposed to use salt. No, you need to use salt. There's many clinical researches that have been done just to be able to cure disease. Okay, Dr. Batman Geldy. Okay, you ever heard of him? He's got a great book. What's the book called? Do you remember? We'll put it on the video. But anyways, this is a great book to be able to show you how you can cure disease with salt and water. Okay?
Many cries of water.
Many cries of water, right? Okay, exactly. So doing liquids is very important to be able to have conductive minerals in the liquids. Okay, so all we did was put in here, we put about 25 drops of the magnesium. We put in maybe half a teaspoon. That's all you need of the MSM. I put in a tablespoon of the living silica. Okay, and now you got yourself, very simple, just swish it around. And this salt's done. But now we're going to change it to one more. I'm going to put in a blue-green spirulina. Okay, and what this does, this to me, I'm going to show you, this is a treatment. And the way you use this is you put this in a small bottle. After you make this, you're going to see what color it turns, and throughout the day, especially if you were fasting, especially if you were hungry, you take some of this, it's going to turn really beautiful blue-green, okay, and this charges your brain. You put 4 or 5 drops under your tongue, and this, boom, really wakes you up. Remember, it's got magnesium, and it's got the silica in it, it's got the sulfur in it, okay, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to put in, and this is a blend, took me about 2 years playing back and forth. I'm just going to put a 1/4 teaspoon, okay, and this is a beet spirulina blue-green algae mixture, and you can see that this tint, hardly any came off the spoon. The tint is really strong, and this is a cold extract, and it still hasn't come off. This will turn into the most beautiful blue color. Now, this stimulates your brain, okay? You can also do this in your liquids too. Okay, I make a really beautiful blue-green algae liquid. So we made this because to be able to make the tints like this, it's a little hard to be able to make the tints like I showed people before with the blue-green algae. Okay, this is simple. You just put a 1/4 teaspoon in, and you can see this stuff doesn't want to really come off. So what I do is just help it get off there. It's better actually always to use, even though it's not easy to use, it's better to use never metal. Always use wood if you can. Okay, and that'll take about, I don't know, half a day really for the tint, but you can see it's still floating on the top. Okay, so when this is done in one day, and you can see it's not even finished yet, but look at this beautiful color, okay? This is a blue-green algae cross beet spirulina, okay? Combination, and these two colors, remember, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Okay, so this is really good as a therapy. Like I said, you put it in a small bottle and you keep this with you. So let's say you go out to lunch. At least, even if you're not eating the greatest food, you can at least bring your own salt. You can at least bring a few different things to be able to make your meal good. Okay, so this is done, and we just put this to the side. Now, if you want to, you can put a chili in here too. Okay, and this gives you spicy. You can put a chipotle pepper in here. You can go ahead and add a lot of things. But this one here, what I'm going to do, because I don't want to corrupt any of the colors, I found out with this recipe, this color will not be corrupted. That's why we use distilled water. If I use alkaline water in here, it'll start to eat up the color. My body's alkaline, and I want the color to be eaten by me. Okay, so if we're going to use the blue-green algae color, the beet solution, you want this color to stay this way, you use distilled water. Okay, so if you use alkaline water, what would it do? It would eat the color. Okay, or if you put lemon in here, what would it do? It's going to eat the color. Okay, so this will stay like this, the most beautiful, and it of course doesn't need to be refrigerated or anything. And I'm going to throw a chili in there too. Making these for me. I haven't had mine in a while. And that'll last me probably about 3 months. That's as much salt as I put in my sprays, and I just cook for myself. Okay, so the second one we're going to do, we're going to make this with the fine salt. Okay, even if you use any of the salts, what you want to do is get a strainer and you want to wash them off first. Okay, because who knows what's on them. Just wash it off. And then same thing, I'm going to make a small, you fill it up halfway, whatever you're going to do. And remember, what's going to happen is tomorrow, the salt's only going to dissolve down to here. And that's it, it's done. Okay, and then from there, the salt concentration will be 26% maximum and will not go ahead and actually bind. Salt will not turn to water, water will not turn to salt anymore. But this is the most concentrated, highly conductive salt. That's why you're having it. This is the highest, best grade salt that you could go ahead and have. So what do? All we do, fill, oops, that's the wrong one. That's the salt. Just fill. And you know what, with this one, that was distilled water. This one here, I'm not going to put the color in, so I'm going to use alkaline. We're going to change the pH of this salt to a high pH salt. So I wanted to make two different recipes. And you could make this into a large one too here, but these last quite a bit of, recipes. So this is going to be a different recipe you're going to see. You ever had sweet salt before? This is a good one. Okay, so this one here, all we do is mix it up. And see, the reason I don't like to use the fine ground either a lot of times, you can. It's just that it's not as pretty because you can see how there's no little particles of dust. But all that dust will go ahead and settle to the bottom, okay? Because the fine ground has finer dust. So the coarse is about this big. We sell the fine, and that's just like I said, that's only for your food. But if you're going to go to make the sole salt, it's better to use the coarser rock, okay? Let's see here. Now, with this one, what we're going to do is we're going to change the flavor. Okay, I'm going to put stevia in here, and we're going to put the same exact formula. I'm just going to put 1, 2, 3. That's it. And if I want more sweetness, I can always add it. And if I, of course, made it too sweet, what do? Just add more water. Get a bigger container. But 3 is about the perfect amount. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to put a little living silica in here. This is how easy this is. This is the best salt in the world, okay, and the cleanest salt in the world. It's underground again. Comes from hundreds of feet underground. I usually like to put in a lot of magnesium. The magnesium, if you put too much in, it has a little weird taste. And if you ruin the taste of your salt because you're adding some of this stuff, what do? Just add more water. That's all. And remember, when you add more water, you can see most of the salt's on the bottom. That salt, remember, it started here. a lot of it's already dissolved, okay? And it's only gonna dissolve so much, and it's done. So with this one here now, just mix it up. Remember, this is sweet salt. But let's even go even further. See, I like to go ahead and make salt that tastes really good. And so I'd make 3 or 4 or 5 of these, and I'd have a little one. This is curry salt, really good, okay? Cumin salt. And so you could put that on all different things because you spray, it's like adding seasoning right away. And this is a real good one. This is our turmeric, okay? But you have to be very careful when you spray this because you can get this on anything. But this makes everything taste really good, okay? You just have to be super careful. I don't even really suggest people using turmeric unless you really, really understand. Anything you touch with this, it's gonna stain. Now, one of the things also I like to do, and you can make one last salt and we're finished here. Remember, this is a quick recipe. You can bend this a lot of different ways. But the only way for you to keep this color, remember, is distilled water, okay? And you can see, look how much more purple it got because now the purple, and you can see there's still big pieces in there, it hasn't dissolved. And I only used a 1/4 teaspoon. And that's very hard to do if we leached the blue-green algae like I used to do. Remember, I used to leach the blue-green algae for a day, then you'd have to pour off the top and everything, okay? And this is a beautiful, not only is it really good to use on your food, but remember, this is good for you to put in a bottle, and then when you get hungry, because remember, you're changing your life. You feel tired throughout the day, okay? And all you do is you just put in like 10 drops, don't swallow it. You're gonna swallow it, but just keep it in your mouth, and you'll just feel it go in, and all of a sudden your eyes will wake up. Okay, you're doing a test, you're studying, what do you want? You want more conductivity. What more conductivity gives you what? More light bulb, right? Okay, even, there's not enough in here. It hasn't diluted out enough, okay? But you can see once it dilutes, oops, that's why, because I got to shut off. It should have enough conductivity. Okay, now it's got conductivity, it's already melted enough. Okay, super powerful. Okay, and the last, let's say you wanted to go ahead and make a live salt, okay, probiotic, a brine. This is really good too, okay, because you're trying to go ahead and get live probiotics on all your food. And a lot of people don't like to take these, so what do? You just spray them on everything, okay? So the probiotics, so what I do, same thing. I wouldn't put this in the colored one because what do you think the probiotic's going to do? They're going to eat it, okay? So this is what I do is I put this in, and I usually go ahead and make one here that's clear, and then I'll go ahead and make 4 or 5 small ones, a curry one, like I said, a cumin one. I'll make one with our alternative soy sauce, so it'll make it so it's really soy teriyaki flavor, okay? So this is how you make your own teriyaki sauce and all your different flavors. Okay, and that's it. So the easy thing is, if you wanted to make the blue-green, you do need this blue-green spirulina powder. If you do make it with the blue-green algae, it just doesn't come out that good because sometimes it smells like sewage after a while, okay? But this makes it so it's super easy to be able to make any of the blue-green algae drinks. Okay, any questions, guys? Well, pretty simple, okay? The best salt in the world. There you go.